Dear students, the Dalton's law of partial pressure says that according to this law, the resultant pressure exerted by a mixture of non-interacting gases equals to the sum of the individual pressures. I can make you more clear by using this figure. As you can see here, in this figure, there are three containers. The one container is filled with oxygen, and the pressure here given is 20 kilopascal in this container, nitrogen 80 kilopascal. And if these two gases are mixed with each other in this third container, then what you will find here, the pressure is equals to 100 kilopascal. The law is very simple. The law says that if you are having different gases mixed in a container, the total pressure is equals to the sum of their individual pressure. ये पहली वाली गैस कितना प्रेशर एक्सर्ट कर रही थी, दूसरी गैस कितना प्रेशर एक्सर्ट कर रही थी, और जब ये एलोन किसी कंटेनर में थी सेपरेट, और जब इनको सबको मिक्स कर दिया जाएगा तो ये टोटल प्रेशर कितना एक्सर्ट करेगी, यही डाल्टन्स सम के बराबर करेगी. दिस इज डाल्टन्स लॉ ऑफ पार्शियल प्रेशर. ओके, I hope this topic is not very difficult. It is easily understandable to you. And that next one is Gay-Lussac's law. It is also called the pressure law. You have to make notes of it. So let me show you. The Gay-Lussac's law will be more clear if I will use this slide figure. Here the simple thing is that in this figure you are able to see that this is the burner. Here we are just giving the flame. What happens? The pressure is rising. Here the pressure is rising. So simple. As you increase the temperature, the pressure of the gas increases. It's a very common sense observation, and then became a law by Gay-Lussac. According to this law, the pressure of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. You can directly write here P is directly proportional to T, or P by T is constant, right? For a given volume of gas, right? So P1 upon T1 is equals to P2 upon T2, and so on. You can write simply pressure and volume are directly related. Increase the temperature, pressure will increase. So it is also called the pressure law. Now let us move ahead. After Dalton's law of partial pressure, we will have to come on the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is just a good topic. See, the number of motions which can be performed by by atoms of one molecule is degree of freedom. These motions may be translatory, rotatory, or oscillatory. There is another definition: number of coordinates required to specify the location of atoms of a molecule in space. See, if you take any object, okay, you take any ant on the floor, the ant can move on x and y plane. So it cannot fly in the sky, it can only move on a plane. It can crawl on a plane. An ant can crawl, or an insect can crawl. Then how many coordinates are ant required to specify its motion or its location? We need to specify two coordinates. You can say x and y coordinate. You are flying a kite. How many coordinates are required? 3. So what is degree of freedom? How many coordinates are required to specify the locations? Very simple. There are two. If you need two x and y axis, then it is having 2 degree of freedom. If anyone who is moving in a space, having 3 degree of freedom. But the degree of freedom is having both. You can say oscillatory, translatory, rotatory. See, if you are having only translational motion along x axis, y axis, z axis, it is translatory. If we talk about something is also moving and rotating, it is having rotational motion. So there are some more degree of freedom. And if something is oscillatory, then in the degree of freedom will increase. So let us have a quick recap of this. See, if an atom, this is the formula that if an atom molecule is having n atoms, and there are there are r restrictions, okay, then degree of freedom is 3n minus r. Basically there is no need to learn all of these stuffs. Here you have to understand that if you are having a monoatomic gas molecule, it can either move along x axis, y axis, or z axis. It's having 3 degree of freedom. If you take any diatomic molecule, for example a dumbbell, which we see in the gymnastics, that the dumbbell can go along x axis, the dumbbell can go along y axis, the dumbbell can go along z axis. Also this dumbbell can rotate about this axis. Okay, it can be rotated like this. It can also be rotated in some another way. So there are some different ways. Let me show the figure. If the dumbbell rotates like this axis, okay, this is one axis. So there are two axes about which a dumbbell can rotate. There are two ways the dumbbell can rotate. So there are 3 translational plus 2 rotational. There are 5 degree of freedom of a diatomic gas. Similarly, for a triatomic gas, we are having 7 degrees of freedom. I hope it is clear to you. If a body is instead of along with the translational and rotational, if it is a oscillation also, then there are some more degrees of freedom which we will study later. The next is law of equipartition of energy. It says that the energy content in all degrees of freedom are equally divided. They all are equal. For example, अभी हम लोगों ने derive किया कि एक जो एक आइडियल गैस में एक सिंगल मॉलिक्यूल E/n जो भी derive किया था, it energy average kinetic energy of a molecule in a gas is 3/2 kT. Okay, here for monoatomic gas, you know, there are 3 degree of freedom. अब law of equipartition of energy ये कहता है कि हर डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम में एनर्जी इक्वली डिवाइडेड है. जब 3 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम है तो 1 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम पे कितनी एनर्जी आ गई, हाफ kT. अच्छा, इसको कैसे समझेंगे? सी, हम लोग इसको एक न्यू स्लाइड के हेल्प से समझेंगे. लेट अस सी हियर. See, you know, the kinetic energy of a single molecule is the kinetic energy of a single molecule is, I am writing here epsilon T is equals to 1/2. It is moving along x-axis. Also it is moving along y-axis. Also it is moving along z-axis. All the components of velocities it is having. Sir, we have studied that in thermal equilibrium the average value of energy is, you can say, is total is 3/2 kBT. And since if we consider that all these energies along x, y and z are equal, since we are assuming that x component, y component, z component velocities are same, so I can write along 1 degree of freedom or along one axis the energy is half kBT. So dear student, it is 3 times of 1/2. So half kBT of for x axis, half kT along y axis, and half kBT along z axis.